This is the Ranger Uranium Mine, smack in the middle of Kakadu, a World Heritage listing. Every year, 5,000 tonnes of yellow cake are exported from this mine. Our politicians tell us it's just for peaceful purposes, nuclear power. But yellow cake carries no name tag, only a price tag.
The open pit mine is a greater hazard for the people in the vicinity because the face of the ore bed is opened and there are many surfaces for release of the radon gas, which carries the radioactivity off-site.
Workers in a uranium mine are obliged to wear TLD badges, which measure the gamma radiation they're exposed to. But these TLD badges don't measure the alpha radiation that comes from another invisible killer, the radon gas.
We're giving the workers air-conditioned cabs that looked clean, and we're filtering the air coming in, and they were saying this was very protective of health. But you're dealing here with a gas, and the gas goes right through the filter. You can't filter out a gas, you filter out particulates. When the radioactivity is in a dusty environment, it goes deeper into the lungs and it causes bronchial or lumbar types of cancers. But when the air is cleaner, you still get cancer, but you get it in the nasopharyngeal area of the, it doesn't go as deep into the lungs. I don't know that one's better than the other. Neither one is acceptable in my books. So the fact that the air is clean does not mean that you're not being exposed to a carcinogen.
And they have water carriers consistently spraying the dust on the roads to keep it down. But if you inhale or you swallow the dust, the radium, which the body thinks is calcium, is absorbed from the gut and is laid down in the bone, where it can mutate regulatory genes that control the rate of cell division in the bone and cause bone cancer, or in the bone marrow and cause leukemia, which is cancer of the white blood cells.
With alpha radiation, or alpha particles that are inhaled, you can, and that's predominantly radon gas in these mines, you can actually monitor the level of radon gas, but you can't actually monitor the radiation absorbed from the alpha particles. And we know that alpha radiation has a 20 times increased impact, biological impact, than gamma radiation. So that's the big question mark, that's the big unknown, and that's the challenge for any employer who is concerned about their workers to be able to determine what their workers' exposure is.
People who mine uranium are at great risk of lung cancer, and in the past, 30 to 50% of men who've mined uranium have developed lung cancer and died. All workers should know this. If they wear respirators, it makes no difference because the radon gas gets through.
It's a very heavy gas. It's about 7 times heavier than air, so it stays near the earth because it's an invisible gas with no odor, so people don't know they're being exposed to it. And again, you breathe in the gas, then the solid particles, the lead, bismuth, and polonium, are deposited in the lungs and go through to the bloodstream and cause internal problems in the body, and can cause birth defects and damage, teratogenic damage to a child in utero.
If you swallow or inhale radium or radon, or there are many other elements that are radioactive, They locate specifically maybe in the lung, like radon, and just irradiate a tiny volume of cells. It gets a really high dose. And the cells close by die. The ones on the periphery of that volume survive, and they can be mutated to get cancer.
The tailings dump at Range Uranium Mine. Looks like any other slag heap you'd expect to get with a mine, doesn't it? But in fact, it's a time bomb. What the mining companies don't bother to tell the general public, and the pollies don't care to know, is that in fact 80% of the original radioactivity, which was once cocooned safely in nature and out of harm's way, deep in the earth, has now been brought to the surface of the earth and crushed into powder-sized particles to extract the valuable minerals. Eventually, years from now, these radioactive tailings will be dumped back into the huge crater and grassed over. But in the meantime, the dust from these finely pulverized radioactive tailings is free to blow in the wind.
Uranium, when it occurs in nature, occurs with other radioactive materials. Together in nature, in this rock that contains uranium, you'll also find thorium, radium, lead, bismuth, and polonium in radioactive forms. Radium itself is very toxic, and it's no longer in a rock deep under the ground, but it pulverized and made bioavailable. Now when they mine it, they take the rock out and they only want the uranium. So all these other radioactive materials are left in the rock, the crushed rock at the mine.
It's not only a job, it's a career path. The company will train me up to be an industrial sparky. You know what those blokes earn? Jono told me they get a yearly bonus of up to $40,000.
I can get a boob job and work Hooters.
Good to see you on a career path too, sweetheart. Come on, Dylan, it's going to be great.
Sure, I never want to live past 30 anyway.
Oh.
Such an emo.
Anno. Dad, do you know anything about uranium mining?
Sure. It's the answer to global warming.
Yeah, it's natural. Come on, Dylan, give it a chance.
It will fry your balls.
Well, nothing wrong with that. Don't mind fried balls.
It's 13 minutes past 8 o'clock. The current temperature is 26 degrees on 105.5 Rocks FM, your community station here in Roxby Downs.
Once the genie is extracted from the bottle, this service town of Roxby, just 18 kilometres from the mine, will become ground zero. In the current practice of underground extraction, BHP Bulletin clearly states that the radon gas has no effect on the residents of Roxby. But according to the best scientific evidence available, if the proposed open cut mine goes ahead, the radon gas and radioactive tailings will have serious health implications for the people of Roxby: cancer and birth defects. But you've heard about the radon gas that when they mine, it actually hangs around. It's heavier than air gas, and it can't be filtered out by the gas mask.
Ah, right, okay.
So, you know, that's the sort of thing that we're concerned about for the members.
There's always risk with anything, isn't there? So
Haven't really heard much about that.
And they have regular health checks for your husband?
I wouldn't say regular. No, they have a medical centre based out there. If you have any medical concerns, you can go
to them.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you feel quite confident that, you know, they're giving you access to all the information you need?
I feel quite confident that if I ask for it, I would receive it. I don't feel that they're hiding anything from me.